Hello, good morning. It's still technically morning. Hello, good morning, everybody. Welcome to my Facebook Live. As you all know, the theme for October is OCTernate financing. We're talking about some of the different things that you can do besides getting a mortgage or purchasing a car or something like that. These are some of the more unique things. So I'm so incredibly excited for my guest today. You guys have no idea how cool this guy is. His name's Greg Sheilds with First Bank. He is absolutely amazing. Been doing this for years. The dude crushes what he does. Hello, Greg.
How you doing, BK?
I'm doing excellent. Thank you for asking. Greg, why don't you take a couple minutes, tell us a little bit about yourself, who you are, where you work, kind of how you got into this, and then you have to answer my very favorite question, which is you have to tell us something not a lot of people know about yourself.
All right, I'll start with first of all, thanking you for having me. A pleasure. I know everyone that watches this also knows how great of a guy BK is and a connector in his own right. But again, my name is Greg Sheilds. I'm with First Bank, the Vice President of the East Market, covering our Southeast Aurora region. Not really wanted to be a banker. I don't think anyone had the idea of being a banker as their top five careers. But going up to CSU, Fort Collins, this was the only paid internship I actually was able to find, and just fell in love with the company, the culture, the mission that we have, and have been here 7 years later as a lender, 9 years with the company, and just really enjoy the work I do, specializing in more residential, so a lot of home purchases for our community, but also transitioning to commercial. So a lot of commercial deals, construction, and I think the big thing is I'm known as our church lender for our region. So I've done a lot of church financing. So that's one thing I'm starting to enjoy a lot more as well. But again, not the career I would have imagined myself doing, but just thankful that I have the opportunity to work for such a great company. And to your question, your favorite question of one thing that a lot of people don't know about me, I would say that I am the military brat. Both my parents met in the Air Force, and I lived in Japan, Okinawa, Japan, from 3 weeks old to 4 years old. So don't remember much about it, but a lot of people don't know I lived in Okinawa, Japan, the first 4 years of my life.
That is awesome. I love it when you give me something that I didn't know about them too. That just makes me happy. That's really cool. All right, so let's kind of dive in a little bit. Got a question for you, and the question I want to kind of start with is, what is alternate financing? I mean, I talk a lot of posts on my page are about a 30-year fixed rate mortgage. Sometimes we talk about ARMs a little bit, investment properties, but what else is there besides kind of your traditional mortgage model?
And so, great question. So alternative financing to me is when you don't fit inside that box. Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac have a small box that if you don't fit into this particular profile, sometimes financing is hard or more difficult to obtain. So alternative financing to me is being able to find another solution, whether that be portfolio mortgages, which First Bank is very prominent in, or short-term, or even potentially other vehicles that you might be able to use, like an IRA, that would be able to help finance such a property. But yeah, so other ways of being able to, I guess, maybe an asset-based lender, or someone that's able to use liquidity to mitigate deficient DTIs. There's other ways to get, I guess, outside of that box if you don't necessarily fit into it.
Okay, no, that's awesome. So one thing you said that really sparked my interest was the IRA. Talk a little bit more about what that means and how that works.
Yeah, so it's a very, again, it's an alternative vehicle, but more so to the stock market, I believe. Most people are like, hey, I don't mind riding the stock market. Higher risk means higher reward, but for those who are looking for a stable return on their investment, there's this IRA, what you pulled up, ability to fund your IRA with real estate. So actually using your self-directed IRA to purchase properties, non-recourse in nature. So that's really cool, is that it's not going to show up on your personal credit. It's truly towards your IRA. We will make sure that you personally can meet the minimum requirements of our DTI. But really, we're looking at the cash flow of the property. The cool thing there is that you have your down payment, but you buy the property, you're getting an appreciating asset while paying down the principal. So in theory, you're essentially double dipping. Definitely in the Colorado market, you know how quick things are appreciating now. So putting yourself in a long-term vehicle as an investment tool is kind of what the IRA, the self-directed IRA fund does. And there's a lot more to it, right? It sounds a lot easier than it is, but that's a really cool program that First Bank offers that most people don't really actually know about.
Yeah, I was going to say that is an incredibly unique program that most lenders don't want to touch just because of the complexities of it. But the fact that First Bank not only does it, but does it incredibly well is absolutely fantastic. So kudos on you guys for offering such a unique product that does serve a very specific and niche market. I think that's amazing. What about, I keep hearing a lot about, or I keep getting questions recently because values of homes are going up so much. They don't necessarily want to refinance. They've already refinanced. They've got to smoke an interest rate. They use me and got to smoke an interest rate. Shameless plug. But now they want to tap into that equity and not lose that interest rate. Is there something you can offer that would help them be able to do that?
Potentially, it depend on the equity position, right? So let's tap into their equity. I'd say, hey, keep that first in place with BK, which was probably a smoking hot rate. And then we have our lines of credit, our home equity lines of credit that you might be able to tap into with interest only. That's usually for when I'm doing home improvements, not going to use the whole line up front, kind of doing this project over time. So you are able to take advantage of the low interest rates we're in, low interest rate market we're in, as well as the interest only payment. So you'll be able to make pretty small payments during that time while you're doing some projects. Also, we have our installment loan program. That's also a second, but that's for those fixed rate, fixed term requests that you might have, where someone wants to say, hey, I don't want to have this interest rate floating like the line of credit would allow. I want to make sure my payment's fixed. I know what I'm paying every month, and I have a defined purpose with this money. So I have $20,000. I'm buying a new car, and this is a much better interest rate than I'm getting offered by the car dealerships or what have you. The seconds there, the installment loans are a great resource for defined purposes and getting you a locked rate.
Absolutely. I pulled up the First Bank website, and I want to talk a little bit more about. I want to talk about First Bank specifically because it looks like you guys do some really cool things. And I apologize. I know I'm putting you on the spot. I didn't even mention this before, so hopefully you're ready to go. But it looks like you guys are doing some amazing things, giving back to the community. Can you talk a little bit more about that?
Yes, sir. So a few things you might have clicked on, and I know that large bold line on the top is referring to our PPP loan program. Although we've closed out that portal, I think that's one of the things that we really pride ourselves on this last year and a half is our involvement in the Paycheck Protection Program. We are actually the largest lender for Paycheck Protection programs the last year and a half in the state of Colorado, beating out national players in the financial institution market. So we really pride ourselves on giving back to the community. We're working 24 hours a day on this Paycheck Protection Program, tirelessly over the clock to make sure that we were helping our small businesses persist through COVID. Now, again, we are no longer accepting paycheck protection loans, but we're in the forgiveness phase of it all. Making sure people don't have to pay back those loans. But again, that's one of those things that we just show that that we do really care about our community and the businesses that are growing our communities and that we are serving. Hope that helps. You did throw me a curveball on that one.
I did. We're going to kind of go a little bit deeper on it too, because you mentioned that you're getting into the commercial space as well. So I do get quite a few calls with people like, hey, I want to buy this, the shopping mall or this something like that. So what are some of the unique things that First Bank can do to help those kind of clients?
And so we have a suite of products for our commercial side of things. So we're able to finance the typical retail strip, like you had mentioned. Obviously, hotels are a little bit more challenging, and restaurants with with the ever-changing climate of those. But we're never scared to take a look at really any real estate. One of the really cool things that we have is our owner-occupied commercial real estate program. Let's say that you're looking for office space, you're paying rent, an abnormal amount of rent for your space that you're leasing. And you could save money by owning this office condo that you may have been in for years. We're able to actually give you a really good rate and up to a 25-year fully amortized loan for your owner-occupied space. So versus you paying rent to the landlord, you could actually maybe own your primary residence already. This would allow you to also own the space your business operates. So again, one of the many programs that we also have a scattered site program where you can combine multiple properties together to kind of maximize the leverage there and make it one monthly payment. And yeah, so again, there's a suite of products we have for commercial space. It just really kind of depends on the cash flow and the capacity of the borrower, but commercial is just a little bit different than the residential side in regards to qualifications.
Absolutely. That's awesome. And guys, I encourage you, if you have any questions about any of the things that Greg was mentioning I would definitely encourage you to give him a call. His information's been scrolling at the bottom, but sometimes, not everyone is watching these Facebook Lives. Sometimes they're reading them, they're in silence. So Greg, why don't you just go ahead and tell people how they can get a hold of you verbally?
All right. So my name is, again, Greg Sheilds. I office out of our location off of Iliff and Havana and Aurora. My direct line is 303-696-2912. And my email is greg.shields, SHIELDS @efirstbank, all spelled out, .com. So greg.shields @efirstbank.com. Always willing to chat with anyone about any potential deals or any scenarios that you might want to run by me.
Absolutely, guys. Greg is absolutely amazing with that. And overall, he's a really awesome and great guy as well. So Greg, thank you so much for being with me today. I appreciate it. Appreciate your time. And for the rest of you, interest rates are still hot. They're starting to creep up, which means if you haven't taken advantage of the low interest rate market and you need to do so, call me. I can definitely take care of you on that. And if you don't think you qualify because, you've been turned down from so many places, guess what? I know people that can help. So give me a call for that too. I can send you over to Greg and we can do some unique things and help you get into the position that you need to be in. So I'm still looking for a theme for November, still thinking through that. So if you have any ideas of what you think a good theme for November would be, leave them in the comments below or text me, send me an email, whatever that looks like for you. And yeah, with that, thank you so much for watching, guys, and peace out.